I want to shift gears. We have a huge college football game this weekend. And it just happens to be, starts at 11:30 Eastern tomorrow. It is Michigan at Wisconsin. And everybody likes Wisconsin. Wisconsin's amazing. It's the best defense. It is Harbaugh's no good, and people are falling for this. So the Wisconsin defense is ranked 5th in the country, okay? And I've told you, I love the Wisconsin story. If they go undefeated, they absolutely, you can make an argument. They beat Michigan here. They beat ranked Michigan. They beat Ohio State, then put them in. But let's take a deep breath here and add some context. It just so happens that they scheduled BYU out of conference, and this is the worst BYU offense ever. I'm going to suggest to you that Michigan is going to win this game. What? I said it. Wisconsin, to the right. This is the rankings of the offenses they have faced. 95th, 120th, 61st, 78th, 72nd, 111, 123, 91st, 116. The only offense that looks redeemable is Florida Atlantic. That's Lane Kiffin in an awful conference. That's why they're picking up yards. It's like a junior college with a nicer campus. Wisconsin has played awful offenses all year, some of the worst in college football. Okay, Michigan's not perfect. They're on their third quarterback, but they have better personnel. I like Wisconsin. We are overstating how great their defense is. We are now calling Harbaugh an average coach. Folks, here's the truth about great defenses, and there is no exception to what I'm going to say. To have a great defense, you need great personnel. Remember those Ravens with Ray Lewis, multiple Hall of Famers? That Seahawks defense. How about Denver's 2 years ago? Saban's had defenses that have 8 NFL players on them. I went the last decade. How many Wisconsin defensive players are first-rounders? Transformative players. A decade. 2 defensive players in the first round. They both have the same parents, J.J. and T.J. Watt. Wisconsin always has NFL offensive linemen. It is what they're known for. They are not known for great quarterback play. They are not known for world-class linebackers and corners and safeties and pass rushers, the Watt family being the exception. This is what happens in college football. Teams get blown up because they don't play a road game. Miami is yet to play a good team on the road, so everybody thinks the Hurricanes are great. You see what happened to Georgia when they had to go on the road? Watch USC on the road. You watch Notre Dame on the road. Watch a team play a road game. Don't tell me Wisconsin's defense is all-time stuff. Put the rankings of the offenses they've faced on the screen. 95th, 120th, 80th, 111th, 123rd, 116th, 91st. And now we've got Jim Harbaugh being some moderately successful coach. My man Jason Whitlock's freaking out on this. He thinks the Badgers are, Ray Lewis's Ravens.
I don't think it's going to be that close. I'll be shocked if Michigan's able to do anything but kick a couple of field goals. Wisconsin's defense is 1,000% for real. Jim Harbaugh, through 3 years, has had no luck at developing a quarterback so far. I just don't see Michigan scoring in any real consistent way, and Wisconsin's defense is going to create enough field position. Jim Harbaugh was brought to Michigan to have them win Big Ten championships and beat great teams. He's not doing it.
For the record, the best offenses in the Big Ten are Penn State. Badgers didn't face them. Ohio State. Badgers haven't faced them. I'll take Michigan here in a very, very all-time classic college football battle. Let's bring in the LA Times Sam Farmer, who I love, who has sources. It is great to have you in on a Friday.
I love it. I love these cups.
So this is very interesting. You've been writing about the USC-UCLA game for years.
Yes.
And this game is interesting. Once again, and this is often the case, USC's got better players. That's happened a lot. It's more of a football school. But now we've got Darnold and Josh Rosen. Now, take our audience. You have, and I've been following you for years, even when I was at the other place. You've accumulated over 30 years a myriad of sources. And I would imagine with Rosen and Darnold, you've been talking to them a lot. What are they saying?
I have, yeah. Actually, I love this story each year. It comes up at the USC-UCLA game every year. I get 3 scouts anonymously in the league, and I make sure these are top-level guys to go through the personnel on both teams and say, give me a round prediction on this guy, and what do you like about this guy? What do you not like about this guy? And they really open their notebooks. So this is a unique situation with Rosen and Darnold. There's only been one time in the last 50 years that a USC and UCLA quarterback were drafted in the first in the same year, and that was back with Aikman, and then Rodney Peete was taken in the 6th round that year. That's the only time in the last 50 years you've had 2 guys. Now you got 2 guys who are potential top 10 picks. So this is really unique. There are going to be 20 teams represented, over 30 scouts in the Coliseum press box for this.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're watching for different things. These are very different quarterbacks. With Rosen, they know what they need to know about his arm. He's making Sunday throws on Saturday.
That's what the scouts say.
Yeah, they love his arm. It's the intangibles, the leadership. So they're going to be watching the sidelines with Rosen. They're going to be watching what happens if and when they fall behind. Is he sitting at the end of the bench? Is he trying to get his guys together and talk to them? What's his body language like? Because that's a real outstanding question about this guy. How is he off the field? Has he got this bloated ego? Are we going to be able to deal with this? He has all the physical skills, the tools. With Darnold, he had picks early in the season. There are questions about his decision-making.
Reckless.
A little jumpy in the pocket. They said jumpy and hoppy in the pocket. Is he patient enough to go through his progression? So it's more on the field with him. He's got the intangibles. He's got the leadership. He's got everything you want, the head for the game, and he's a winner, which is kind of nebulous. But I think that stuff is not as sellable. He's a winner as the skills, the raw skills, which always push a guy up at the end of the draft process. So this is huge. This is a huge game for these guys. And guys are saying, look, you're going to have 10 to 12 teams that are looking for a quarterback, including some that haven't in the past, like Pittsburgh, the Arizona, the Chargers.
Oh, yes.
So that really, they're going to get overdrafted.
So this will be an overdraft of quarterbacks.
They're going to get overdrafted. It's a seller's market. And these are the 2 most intriguing guys.
So if you took an average, Rosen, should he come out? What do they say?
Yes.
Darnold, should he come out? What do they say?
No.
Very interesting.
Yes. They said this year has sort of proven to them that, look, the holes in this guy's game, Darnold, are his decision-making and going through progressions. And if he goes to a team where he's learning behind a veteran, say, he's not going to get the reps, the live reps that he needs, the in-game reps to work on that stuff. And there's no better place. There's no more NFL Europe. There's no better place than being at SC in a pro-style offense to learn that kind of stuff.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from the newest show on FS1, First Things First, with Chris Carter and Nick Wright.